Hi students, this section is writing linear equations given 2 points. So when we're working with writing linear equations given 2 points, in this lesson you're going to be working with problems in which you first have to find the slope and think of rise over run. And we learned about this formula y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1 last semester. And you are going to need to use this y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1 for this section, for this lesson. So below here are the steps to write an equation of a line given 2 points. So the first step you're going to do is find the slope using the formula y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And then from there, you're going to substitute the slope and the coordinates of one of the points. Notice one of the points. You'll see here when we do an example. And you're going to find the slope-intercept form. And you're going to find the y-intercept, your b. So you find the slope, then you're going to find the y-intercept. And then finally, step 3, you're going to write the equation of the line in the slope-intercept form of y equals mx plus b. So here we have an example. It says, write an equation of the line that passes through the points 1, 6 and 3, -4. So my step number 1 is to find the slope. And that is our y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. If it helps you to label your x and y coordinates, then do that. So 1 I'll label as x1. 6 will label as y1, sorry. Then 3 will label as x2, -4 will label as y2. So now we'll set this up in the slope formula. y2 -4 minus y1 is going to be 6 over x2 is 3 minus my x1 is 1. -4 minus 6 is going to give me -10 over 2, which simplifies to -5. So this is going to be my slope. Now that I found my slope, I'm going to pick one out of those 2 ordered pairs. It doesn't matter if you choose 1, 6 or 3, -4, you'll end up with the same answer, your same y-intercept, your b value. So I'll just choose 1, 6. I always just go for the first one. So I'll set this up in the form of y equals mx plus b, and we're solving for b here. So y is going to be 6 equals, now we just solved for my slope, which is -5, times my x here is 1, plus my b, that's what we're solving for. -5 times 1 is -5 plus b equals 6. I'm going to add 5 to both sides. So 6 plus 5 is going to give me 11, and that's going to be my b, my y-intercept. So then my last step here, now that I found my slope and I found my b, I can rewrite this in the slope-intercept form of y equals my slope, -5, x plus b, which is 11, and this will be my final answer. Make sure when you're solving these, you show all your steps to get to your final answer for this. Let's do another example here, very similar to the previous one, but I think by looking at another example, it'll help with this. So here, again, they want us to write an equation of the line that passes through the points -3, 1, and 5, 5. Again, label if that helps, x1, y1, x2, y2. Step number 1, we're going to find the slope. So that's y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. y2 is 5 minus y1 is 1 over x2 is 5 minus x1 is a -3, which is adding 3. So we get 4 out of 8. That can simplify. If you divide both the numerator and the denominator by 4, you're going to get a slope of 1/2. So 1/2 is my slope. So now for step 2, I'm going to pick one of those 2 ordered pairs. I like to choose the first ordered pair. Now that I found my slope, and I'll use -3, 1 to find my b, my y-intercept. So I set this up as y equals mx plus b. Finding b, y, I'll choose 1. I'm using this x and y value here for this one. 1 equals 1/2 times my x, which is -3, plus b. We're trying to find b here. When we multiply 1/2 times -3, that's going to give me -3 over 2 plus b on the right equals 1 on the left. To get b by itself, I'm going to add 3/2 to both sides. So 3/2 plus 1, think of that as 3/2 plus, we're adding fractions, so we need to find a common denominator. The fraction form of 1 here could be 2 over 2. That's going to equal b. Since I have common denominators, I can add. 3 plus 2 is going to give me 5/2 is going to be my b here for this one. So now step number 3, I'll write my final answer in the form of y equals mx plus b. So y equals, my slope we found was 1/2 x, plus my b is 5/2. And this will be my final answer for example number 2.